What's going on, guys? Gomes here, back again on another MLB The Show 20 Diamond Dynasty video. Content has been pretty good this year. You know, I think personally I do prefer it a little bit more than even last year, even given the circumstances with the no season thing. Online gameplay, that's neither here nor there. We're strictly talking about content, but although it is good, there are certain things that I think they could do better and some ideas that I'm going to give. And I would also love to hear what you guys would like to see they could do with content. We've only gone 2.5 months within this cycle. Would be really interested to see some ideas you guys have. Leave them down below in the comment section. And before we get into this one, leave a like down below if you guys do enjoy the videos. Definitely does help me out a ton. Subscribe if you guys are new, getting really close to 38,000. Let's see if we can do it by today. And yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into this one. So the first thing I want to talk about is prestiging your evolution cards. Now, this is something that I do actually think they are going to do in some capacity. I think they're either going to allow us to prestige these cards, or they are going to extend the evolution and give us a stage 3, which would make sense. Because if you look more into detail, they have not given us a better card of any of these 4. Maybe it's just because the game's only been out 2.5 months. And they obviously don't want to give us another additional card, especially since the next Eckersley, for example, would likely be his last card. So that would make sense, but I think it would be really cool if they did add an extension to all of these guys. So being that you can get all of them through the XP reward path, they always come bronze 10, silver 10, gold 10, and diamond 10. So I already have all 4 of these evolution programs done by now. I think that would be really cool because you know, prestige would get like this Carlos Gonzalez probably to like a 93. Generally what we're seeing from prestige programs is they're adding +3 stats onto every single attribute. So his contact would go from 104 to 107 and so on and so forth. Usually their overall can go from +2, +3. It depends. I don't know if it's always even that realistic, because I said in my video about Carlos Correa, I don't know how he only went up +1 from doing that. I found that kind of weird, going from 95 to 96. But regardless, I think this would be something really cool, and I do think there's a strong possibility that they are going to do it, because we're all gonna have these cards anyway as long as you grind for them, and it's another cool way to give us these cards rather than put them in a headliner pack or something. So it continues, gives us something to grind for, which is not on this list, but something that is dire need in my opinion. Just something consistently for us to grind. I think that would be great in a new addition to add into content this year. The next thing I want to talk about, this really could have fit in MLB 18, 19, or this year, and it has to do with your creative player. I really think this is how they want it to be, but I don't know why that is. I really wish they would allow us to get some of the other creative player cards. For example, I am not hitting the best. I chose the contact build for Lenny, of course, at catcher. I'm only hitting 250, 926 OPS, so he still is hitting for some power. He has like 75 power, I want to say, not quite hitting the threshold, being with my equipment. But I might want to try out power or balance, but there's no way I can do that. I really don't know why this is the setup they bargained for. Like, it makes no sense. I think it would be great if they allowed us a chance to either fully reset the program, so we have to go through all of it again and get to choose who we want, or just add some additional stuff, not a choose one silver or better equipment item that I don't even have up to here. You just have to, like, 150 catcher hits. That's gonna take a long time for you online. A gold nameplate of Joe Random, and the bat skin's cool, I'll give it that. Not as cool as that voice crack though, that's pretty sick. But it's just something that I think would be very nice to see, because there's gonna be builds that you might not like. Granted, you can kind of always steer the build that you're going. I apologize for that. Something great. 5-star wanted levels somebody just achieved. GTA 6 rumors. But yeah, I think this will be great. You can always kind of bend your attributes to how you want them with equipment anyway, but I just really think it would be a good idea to allow us more freedom. If we didn't like this build, let us reset it or let us just pick something else. That would be great. I've wanted that since they started this new idea of the program in MLB 18. Don't know how it's not here. The next thing I want to talk about is actually something revolving around last year's content. And of course, being with no season, we're kind of at a loss for new content. Of course, we have like the signatures, primes. Those can always come. We're looking for live content from within the season. Not gonna happen, except for the Players League, the virtual stuff, but that was still cool. What about the Tops Now content? I really wish we would see this in some capacity, being that we're seeing all the Player of the Month stuff. For example, this Ryan Presley came out last year. He was a May card from Tops Now. This card was great when he came out, you know, had good pitches. Obviously, he's missing the sinker this year, but four-seam, sliding curveball, slider, all his pronines are mid-90s to low 90s. This would be great. Now, I will mention, I don't know if there's something with Tops because they are the ones making these cards. MLB The Show makes all the Player of the Month cards. I don't know if there's something prohibiting them from doing that, but going over my POTM predictions every month, think about last month. There was Justin Bour, who plays in Japan, not even an option anymore. Rafael Devers, who has the same exact card, same overall as his team affinity. That's two cards completely wiped out of contention, so there was really only 7 or 6 possibilities for the base cards. I think it would make a lot more sense to have more cards to choose from. I do also get the fact that you don't want all the content coming from last year because that is the most fresh in our minds, but I think it would be a great thing to diversify if you do add these Tops Now, whether it be in those monthly programs, because in my opinion, I think the more free diamonds, the better, even if you have to make them a bit harder to get, because fair to say, POTM is easy as hell. It took me like 2.5 hours. The only thing difficult was painstakingly sitting through the Alex Wood moments. Like this Ketel Marte would be awesome to have. Max Kepler, I think this is a June one. These are cards that we're not going to see anymore. Again, maybe there is something that I'm not realizing, being that it is Tops, but they are obviously still partners with Tops, so it would seem like they would be able to use these. It's just a little bit frustrating that we're not able to see them. Even if they had to just take the moments back from last year, put them in this year, it would be more stuff, again, for us to grind, which is usually going to be a good thing. This next one is going to have something to do with both everybody's favorite MLB The Show 18 as well as this year. So if you guys have remembered from the first inning program, we had up to 1,000 program stars of things you could earn, up to a 20-pack bundle, which is, I think, 35,000 stub value if you put it into how much it would cost if you bought it, and just a bunch of stuff. And then by the next program, the second inning, they decreased it down to 600 and heavily decreased the rewards we get. 2,500 stubs and a classic stadium. That's basically 2,000 stubs you're going to get for getting 600 stars. This program in particular, the third inning, there's still a bit more, about a week to go. I've been basically at 600 stars for 10 days now. This adds on top of the fact that there's nothing really to grind, albeit I don't make World Series anyway, but if I did, there's nothing really to really make those top players want to keep grinding for, except for a couple packs. But this is something obtainable to everybody, not just the elite players making World Series. So I think it would be cool if they either extended this again to 1,000, or at least added better rewards, or even if they went back and did something like they did in MLB The Show 18 and added these monthly loot programs. Granted, I don't want to see the souvenirs, just I'm not going to block those out of the screen. If that causes anybody PTSD from MLB The Show 18, I do apologize. But I think this would be cool to add just more ways to get XP, stubs, free packs. These missions, they don't show up anymore, but how you got them is simply by playing the game. Stat missions, winning so many games in ranked. Yes, we kind of do have that in the programs, but again, they nerfed it from 1,000 star reward to only 600. So one of the two, I think, would be a very welcomed return. And moving on to my fifth and final point, something that I think they could do with content. This is something I'm going to experience pretty soon. This is something in the XP reward path you're going to see at level 85. You get a 1 Diamond Live Series Choice Pack non-sellable. Now, a lot of people aren't going to be done with Mantle or nearly done with Mantle by the time they get this. I completely understand that. But in my situation, I have all the diamonds except for Lindor, Jose Ramirez, Verlander, all the Astros, and Trout. The chances I'm going to get one of those is pretty minuscule, and there's a good chance that I'm going to get a diamond that I already have. Remember, you can't quick sell this. The only thing that you can really do, unless it is a duplicate, but that's just taking pennies off the dollar of what you could really get. So I think what they could do, and honestly, this could help in many other facets of this game. It could be controversial, but I think it would be cool to see them add a diamond player exchange. Have a gold player to diamond exchange for 1. I think that could be pretty cool. It would obviously take a lot of gold cards. You know, it would take a bunch of exchange points to get it, because you wouldn't want this to just be like a guaranteed way of making stubs. That would make no sense. They would never go for that. I remember back, I think it was MLB 17, they had something like this, but I think you had to put in like 50 or 100 live series gold players to get a diamond, which they did go for more at like that point in MLB 17 opposed to this year where an 85 goes for quick sell value, 5,000 stubs. But it's something else to do. You have plenty of gold players that you might not want to quick sell, and honestly a diamond re-roll or something as well. Have 2 separate ones where you can have gold players exchange to diamonds, and what I was talking about with the duplicate diamond players that you were that if you were to get from something like that level 85 diamond guaranteed diamond choice pack, something like that. Because it is not really, it wouldn't be fun to just quick sell and be like, wow, 5,000 stubs, because you might get a card that actually goes for something on the market. So that also could in turn lower the prices on the market. I don't know if that's what they're going for. I see merit to why people would want the market to be high. Not everybody should get Mantle, but at the same point, I think it's kind of weird how some cards like these have extended so high in price. I remember I bought Garrett Cole for 90k when I completed the Yankees in the AL East, and he is up nearly double from that point. I still can't pinpoint exactly the reason why cards are rising so rapidly, but that could be something to counteract that, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, especially because stub sales are going to inflate the market anyway, so you're not going to lose that same sentiment. But these are 5 things in my opinion they could do with content. Again, I do really like the content in this game. I think it is fresh. They're adding more content updates every week opposed to last year. I like what they're doing. There's not much things I dislike. These are just some things, some suggestions that I would have that could make it even better. Again, let me know in the comment section, what would you guys like them to see do? There's other stuff that I didn't even talk about. For example, making prior ranked seasons and battle royale rewards, the ones that you can't get anymore, that don't really show up, putting those in packs so they're not way overpriced of what their actual true value is. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure leave a like down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. There gets some Saudi.